What's up, guys? Thanks for joining me for a video today. Today, I'm here with Brendan. He is the creator of the perfect accounting system that aims, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's tailored specifically to Etsy sellers, right?
Yeah, that's correct. Specifically for Etsy sellers.
And we were just talking before I started recording about how it's a course. I know that sometimes people hear course and they tune out, but guys, like, listen for just another minute at least. Like, this course is really just how to stay out of trouble with the IRS, how to save money filing your taxes if you are selling on Etsy. And in general, it sounds like if you're selling online, if you have an online business. Do you want to talk really quickly about like some of the introductory level things that you cover? For instance, I thought it was cool. You said you talk about registering your business.
Yeah, sure. So thanks for having me. Yeah, so I have 3 different courses. All of the courses cover kind of the same general ideas, just like a background on what they do. So I kind of start off and go over what you do when you first start out your business. And some of those things include like, should you register for an LLC? Are you even a business? Like a lot of Etsy sellers run into this, like, am I a hobby or am I a business? So I go over that and the different tax implications with that. Some of the more broader things I go over like the taxes in general, like what taxes you're gonna need to file, what forms you're gonna need to file, how to do them. I also go over like different kind of administrative things like receipts and inventory and how to keep track of the inventory and the receipts. And I also go over like sales tax, like what the heck is going on with sales tax. So go over how to register for sales tax, if you need to collect it, what you need to do if you're selling Etsy or outside of Etsy. And then the main part of the course is actually go through like so I'm an accountant. I have a client that's an Etsy seller, and I walk you through from start to finish. Like she had nothing done for her books. So I walk you through step by step, like how to set up a bookkeeping system and then how to keep track of it. I provide you with all the data so you can do it with me. You can kind of follow along. So that's kind of the general overview of the course. The main, I guess, differences, I have 3 different courses. The main difference is in the intermediate and advanced course, you get one-on-one access with me. So in the intermediate course, which I know like one of your subscribers has, once a week I go on a Zoom call just like this, and you can hop on and you can ask me about the course, you can ask me about your store, you can ask me anything about the finances and taxes side of your Etsy shop. So that's just a 1 minute overview of the course.
No, that's good. I want to highlight that. And just in case, anybody wants to tune out now, if this is not something you're interested in, if you're not selling on Etsy, may not be for you. However, I mean, just understanding, like, having somebody there that's a professional that can help you make sense of something as simple as like opening your business. Because I do get that. I see that question a lot and I'm never that confident in the answer. It's like, for me personally, as soon as I left college, I had a family friend assist me who had their own business in opening my business. And it was so that I could do like freelance web development, and I just kind of carried that over to e-commerce, it's just a business tax ID. But so I was fortunate in that, like, I got it out of the way and I had somebody to show me the ropes. But I think the basic version of the course is like $99.
Yeah, so the basic version is $97. The intermediate course is $197, and then the advanced course is $497. So like I said, the intermediate course, the only difference is you get access to like these weekly Zoom calls I do with everybody. And the difference with the advanced course is for $497, you get like 3 free one-on-one calls with me. Whether through Zoom, and like I said, you can talk about whatever you want, your Etsy shop, how to open a store, how to do the taxes, how to do the bookkeeping, all that good stuff.
Yeah, so it's all good stuff in general if you're operating an online business. So that's good. And then also, do you talk about things like what kind of business to open, like sole proprietor versus LLC?
Yeah. And I'll kind of just go into that real quick, because that's a question that a lot of people bring up. It's like, should I be an LLC or not? And at what point? And I'll just say this, everybody I talk to, they think that there's like a dollar amount where all of a sudden you're an LLC now. There's no dollar amount, and there's really there's no tax consequences with being a sole proprietor or an LLC. So the main difference between a sole proprietor and LLC is a legal one. So it's only a legal one. Now, I explain it like this, like if you're selling on Etsy and let's say that you send me a product and it's a terrible product and I want to sue you. If you're a sole proprietor, I can sue you and I can take all of your personal assets, whatever you have, your house, your car, whatever. If you're an LLC and you follow the rules of being an LLC, then I can only take what the LLC has. So how, like, I kind of explained it is like, how risky are you? Like, do you want to be sued? And if you're sued, like, what are the chances of getting sued on Etsy? Probably pretty small, I would say. But like, do you want that extra protection? And if you do, if you want to kind of avoid some risk, that's why I would say get the LLC. But the main difference between the sole proprietor and LLC is a legal one. There's no tax differences with an LLC or with a sole proprietor.
Got you. Good to know. And then I was going to ask too, like, do you give any insights in the course about, like, in general, organizing your finances around your e-commerce business? There's got to be best practices. Like, the biggest difference when I think back about my journey, I'm over 4 years into it now, dating back to late 2016. So yeah, over 4 years, is like going into it really not having, in this case, not having guidance as far as what it meant to operate a business. And to me, the biggest thing was getting structure, like literally getting spreadsheets and spending time in Excel, just kind of like keeping this data organized that I was going to need. And that really translated into every single income stream that I have now.
Yeah. And that's something a lot of people struggle with. Like, the biggest question I hear is like, I don't even know where to get started. Like, how do I even start? So in the course, the majority of the course itself, I walk you through how to set up a proper bookkeeping system. So I do it in QuickBooks Online, QuickBooks Self-Employed, and I do it in Excel. So I start with nothing. I have a client in Seattle. She had nothing. So I start with getting all of the data that you need and putting it into like a concise system that you can like use for your business. That's the whole point of the course, is to like have this information available to make whatever decisions that you need to make. So in the course, the majority of the course, probably 4 or 5 hours of the course, is walking through how to set up a proper system and then how to maintain that system moving forward. So that all your information is easily accessible.
Got it. And for people who aren't interested in building a system and learning the fundamentals, is there a like, is QuickBooks enough? Like, is there kind of a out, because I'm also a believer in teaching the fundamentals.
Sure.
But at the same time, since this is tax related, like an accounting, like, it's kind of a, not to insult your profession, but some people might think like a little bit of a dry subject. So
for sure, I don't disagree with that. As far as like the fundamentals, I hate on Excel. I always talk crap on Excel just because it's not professional, I would say. But Excel is like a perfectly viable option to keep track of everything that you need, whether it's for tax purposes or just to like see where your money's going. I know that accounting and bookkeeping is definitely a dry subject. I do not think that it's like some exciting thing to do, but I think a lot of people don't realize that being a business owner, whether it's an Etsy business or an online business, like, you need to have these skills and you need to be able to like read this stuff to make decisions. Like, I see a lot of people just fly around blind. They have no idea what they're doing. Money's coming in left and right. Money's going out left and right. They don't know where it's going. And, 6 months down the road, there's no money left in their bank and they're wondering where it went. And it's because they don't have a system set up. So that's, my little pitch on that.
Nah, man. I 100% agree. It's something that I see when I'm like, I'm not saying I see it all the time, but I do on occasion. My subscribers know that I do like some shop reviews, and I'll be doing like Etsy shop reviews. And it's one thing to be like, we were talking a little bit about print on demand, but certain platforms will let you essentially they'll do everything for you and pay you a royalty. So you can't go in the red. The worst you can do is break even or, have zero basically. Whereas Etsy lets you, it opens the box, right? Because the way I teach Etsy is to, sell products that don't exist yet until after the sale. And then we outsource the, creation and fulfillment of the order. And if you don't set your pricing correctly and you don't understand the little nuances and hidden fees, maybe they're not that hidden, but I think Etsy does a pretty good job of hiding their little fees. And, it's like, if you miss anything, you can be spending all this time and effort selling at a loss, and
it's unbelievable. That's a big question I get. It's like, what do I price my item for? It's like, well, what are your costs? And they're like, I don't know. And it's like, okay, you know how much shipping costs, you know how much your Etsy fees cost. Well, what about your rent? What about the products? What about, the material that you needed to buy the product itself? Like, it's super easy to, and I get hated on this all the time, but sales are different than profits. You can sell 1 million items, but if you don't make any money, like, You're not going to IPO your Etsy business. Like, the whole point of it is to make a profit, I think. And pricing is part of that, and accounting is part of that.
Absolutely. And let's bring it back to how you can benefit people that may join the course, the accounting system. Talk about like ways that you can save money, bottom line, like, is there any tax deductions? And also, I'm sure somebody watching this is asking about returns, like how they work, how they factor in.
Sure. So I'll answer that one first. Returns, not to go into too much detail, but basically you have all your sales here at the top, and then your returns or your refunds are right here. So your total gross sales is just your total sales minus your refunds. You don't pay income tax on the refunds. It's not an expense necessarily, but it's not income either. So if you have $100 of sales, $20 of returns, you really have $80 of gross sales, and that's what you're reporting the taxes on. As far as like the common tax deductions, I would say I'm more conservative. I'm not going to tell anybody to do something that's not, in line with what they should do. However, I think a lot of people miss like obvious ones. I say this, anything that's related to your business is a common tax deduction. Whether it's buying a course, whether it's buying the materials, whether it's buying, pens and papers, shipping. A lot of people like to do the home office deduction, which is kind of like a, outsider one that you can use. And as far as like, another one like mileage, mileage is a big one that you can use. Like if you're traveling to Michael's, if you're traveling to, your supplier's place, you can track those mileage as a business deduction. As far as that though, it's really just pretty simple, like materials, anything that related to your business, advertising cost, the shipping cost, the Etsy fees, all that stuff is an actual business expense.
Got it. Yeah. I might, I haven't taken a lot of these expenses, honestly, just because I've needed a streamlined way of tracking them, so I'll probably benefit from, taking the course myself.
Yeah. I show you how to keep track of your mileage. I show you how to keep track of your home office deduction, things like that are overlooked. Like some of them are obvious. Like if you buy a cup, and you sell a cup, that's obviously a business expense, cost of goods. But there are other common ones that you may miss because you don't know how to do it.
Yeah, it makes sense. So I guess to wrap up, like one question I think makes a lot of sense to close with is, based on your experience working with clients, when is it time to look for help? Like how does somebody know that they are an ideal candidate to be taking the course? Sure.
So as far as looking for help, I have people that haven't sold an item yet just because they want to get legit. Like that's the big thing I hear. I want to be legit. I don't want to get in trouble. So if you're just starting out, I think it's a good place to grow with. Like it's a lot easier to manage your Etsy shop when it's smaller than when you have $200,000 in sales, because there's going to be data all over the place. Obviously, I can teach you how to do it with that amount of sales too. But the perfect candidate is somebody that's just honestly clueless, like when it comes to the numbers, the finances, the taxes, and just kind of gets like overwhelmed at it. I try not to be overwhelming. And like I said, with the intermediate or the advanced one, I'm there with you literally on the phone, so I can walk through you, how to do it, or if it's set up right and things like that. But my ideal candidate, somebody that's newer or is honestly just kind of lost when it comes to this stuff.
All right, awesome. Well, hey, his program is the Perfect Accounting System. I'll put a link right there in the description. If anybody has questions, is there a way to like maybe field them or?
Yeah, sure. So I'm definitely active on Instagram. You can go on Instagram. My name is @EtsyAccounting on Instagram. That's probably the best way to get in contact with me, honestly. I'm not super popular or like super active on Facebook. So just hit me up on Instagram if you have that. And I'm sure Ryan can put you in touch with me too, some way or another through email, or you can check out my website too. The website is www.theperfectaccountingsystem.com.
Cool. Hey, Brendan, thanks for being here, guys. I'm going to put a link to the website and to his Instagram in the description. So, hey, I hope this is helpful. And also, I mean, if you guys have questions too that you think maybe I can help with, I'll answer them in the comments underneath the video. And if you want to chime in too, I don't know if you
sure. Yeah,
doing that because the video will be up for a while too. That's the only thing. It's like a year from now, people will be posting questions. I did do a video where I talked about like state sales tax and Etsy, and it did like really well. I wish I knew you back then because I was literally like reading from the tax jar that we were talking about prior to
Yeah.
on the call. But hey, man, I really appreciate you being here.
Yeah, sure. Thanks for having me.
All right, take care.
All right, see ya.